Well, thank you for joining us on this lesson, rotating a shape about a point. This can be quite tricky to do without tracing paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show using my scribble on this section of the screen. And if I have a shape, let's take any shape. The shape is often, I like using like a capital L because it has a short piece and a long piece. And let's take a point. A point can be somewhere, anywhere. Let's put the point over here. And this is called the center of rotation here. We'll call this the center of rotation. Now we need to rotate. We need an angle and we need a direction. So I'm going to rotate this, say, 90 degrees. And I'm going to rotate it what's called anti-clockwise. Now, anti-clockwise is this way. You must know that it goes against the clock. It's not the same direction as the clock. It's against anti-clockwise. So we're going to rotate this L. First of all, you've got to get an image that the center of rotation stays still. This shape here is going to rotate around this point, and it's going to rotate this way. It's going to come around 90 degrees, which is only 1 quarter of a rotation of a full circle. So it's going to rotate just like this, and I'm going to change that to being like, it's only going to be like a quarter rotation, not 180 degrees. So how am I going to do that using this scribble here? Well, this point, I'm going to take it point by point. And what we do is we measure this point here, and it's going to be 90 degrees, so we put a line at 90 degrees down in this direction. There's 90 degrees, and that length here must be the same distance from the point. So this length here has to be the same as this length here. So we must make sure that that point is 90 degrees. So now that we do it point by point, so what I'm going to do here now, it's a little bit difficult because now this line here has to be 90 degrees to this line here. Now you can actually draw a 90 degrees line and you could measure it. The length from here to here must be the same as the length from here to here. And so we ended up with it's going to go here. Now that purple line then is going to be in this position. Now we'll get the next point, which is here, and we get this line to the center of rotation, and we come out 90 degrees. You see, there's our 90 degree line, and that length from here to here must be the same length as from here to here. So we're going to have a new position called the image point. So if this is point A, this is the image of A. I'll put A dash. If this is point B, then B dash goes here. If this is point C, that is the image of C, C dash. Well, let's go to point D, and I'm going to change the color because we've got too much red. At this point here, you get a straight line to the center of rotation, and you get that 90 degree angle, and you put, if that's point D, then you find D dash. Now you can see that the image is starting to take shape, and so we're getting our new position. Let's go to this position here, call that E. Let's go to an orange line. And we get our line to the center, we get our 90 degree, line, and we get the same length, and we put E dash here. And we've got one more point to go, and that's this point here, and let's use a light blue line. and we get our light blue line here, and then we draw that 90 degree. It's the same line as where A dash, and it comes down to our image of point F. Now by joining these points, we get our L, and if drawn correctly, our two L's will be the same size. And here we've rotated the shape about a point which is 90 degrees anti-clockwise. Well, that's all well and good, and it's good to see it once. Well, let's do it twice. Maybe the second time through you'll start seeing what's happening. So let's say we want to rotate a shape. Let's take a shape this time. Still a similar shape as an L. It's an easy shape to rotate. And we want another point of, let's still put a point somewhere. Well, let's not put it even with the base. We did that before. Let's put it, say, somewhere here. Now, we want to rotate this. This time, we'll rotate it 180 degrees. And it doesn't matter if it's clockwise or anti-clockwise because that's the same result. So we take our point, we get our distance to that point, and oh, my point disappeared while I was rubbing it. And we get the point, the same distance, 180 degrees on the other side. So this is 180 degrees. So if this is point A, this will be A dash. Now if this is point B, where's B dash? Well, we get our line and we draw it, and the same distance on the other side, that's B dash. Let's do, if that's C, we get our line, we draw it through here, and it's going to come through there. If this is, say, D, we get our line, we draw it on the same way, and it's going to be D dash. And if this is E, we get our line, we draw it through, and E dash, and you can see just by joining these up where it's going to be end up. We didn't do the last one. Let's just fix this up a bit better if we can. And there we have the shape. I haven't done it perfectly because it looks a bit bigger, but each time you get your point, you rotate it, you reflect it, and you will have your rotation of 180 degrees. I think tracing paper does help. The tracing paper, you can actually put tracing paper down over this image here. You can sketch your center of rotation, you can sketch your shape, and then what you do is you put your pen or a sharp point on the center of rotation and you turn the paper in the direction that you need to. So as you turn it, this shape here will then be drawn on the paper and it will roll around 90 degrees and it will end up being in here, and then you can just trace the shape onto the exam paper, and then you can see where it's going to be, and then take the tracing paper off and draw it. And that is how you could use tracing paper. You just rotate the tracing paper, putting a pen or something sharp on the point of rotation so it doesn't actually move at that point, and everything rotates about the center of rotation. So I hope this has helped with rotating a shape about a point. Be careful with your anti-clockwise and your clockwise. This is where a lot of people make mistakes, is where they don't know the difference between clockwise and anti-clockwise. So I hope that this has helped. Until I talk to you again, stay happy.